What is up, everybody, and welcome to SuperMoto Bros. And today we have something special for you. We have a 2004 KTM 625 LC4. That is right, this is a sweet KTM 625cc bike. I actually don't believe it's actually 625, but that's nonetheless. This bike is awesome. Let's get into it. This is a badass review for a badass bike. So let's go ahead and walk around it real quick. So here she is, black and orange. Very, very nice. Don't mind the dirtiness. She's been off-road and having some fun. And we are going to take you along for a ride here in a little bit. So she came out of, I believe, Virginia. Let me see here. Yep, Virginia safety inspection. There we go. So she came out of Virginia, no longer in Virginia. So let's talk about this bike, man. This is a badass bike. I love riding this bike. So it's a 2004 KTM 625 LC4. They also call them SMC, something like that. It's a 4-stroke, single cylinder, single overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder. It is, oh, okay, it is 625cc. It is 38.1 cubic inches, in case you're wondering. The bore and stroke is 101 by 78. Compression is 11.5 to 1. It is liquid cooled, so let's go ahead and take a look at that liquid cooling here. There you go. It's just like the DRZ. We'll do a little comparison after I take you guys for a ride, so stay tuned till the end. So that is liquid cooled. Take a look at this sweet KTM engine here, LC4. Got a little exhaust wrap here. We'll talk about the carburetor in a little bit. So that's the engine there. The carburetor is an FCR MX41. There she is there. That's the good old bad boy carburetor. It is a digital ignition. You also have electric start, but guess what? If that electric start fails, you know what you have? Do you know what we have here? That's right, we have a kickstart. You can kickstart this bike. Now that is pretty cool. Not many bikes you can do that, but say you're off-road and you're having some electrical issues, doesn't matter. You can kickstart this bad boy. It is 55 horsepower at 6,000 RPM. It is 38 foot-pounds at 35. It's a 5-speed trans. Tubular steel frame. Front suspension is a 48 millimeter WP upside down fork. That's these guys right here. This is a true badass supermoto bike that I would buy myself. It is not my bike. We are just doing a review on this bike today. Rear suspension is a WP monoshock. So that's that bad boy in there. There we go. Very dirty, very dirty. Rear wheel travel is 10.2 inches. Front brakes. He has changed the rotors on these, I believe, or the person before him did. But standard, they are single 320 millimeter disc 4-piston caliper. There you go, down there you got some Brimbos. That's pretty sweet. And the rear is a single 221 millimeter disc 1-piston caliper. There we go. So as you can see, the front is obviously bigger than the back. So the back looks stock. The front has definitely been changed, and I can tell you for a fact that this stops like crazy when you hit the front. The back locks up pretty easily, but the front of this thing, whoo-wee, I'm using front brakes big time. Dry weight is 322 pounds. Front tire is 120/70/17. Rear is 160/50/17. Let's see. It is wheelbase 59.4 inches. Seat height is 35.8 inches. Ground clearance is 11.4 inches. Fuel capacity 2.5 gallons. So it's you know, it's a tiny fuel tank on it. It's bigger than the DRZ's, not by much. DRZ's got 2.2, I believe, so a little bit bigger. The quarter mile, this thing can do a quarter mile in 14.3 seconds, which It's not bad. It's, you know, probably about average for a bike this size. Top speed is 112 miles per hour. So that's pretty cool. The 625 kind of is KTM's in between like the 625 and a 660. I think that LC4 is a little more bugs, road oriented. Sorry about that. But you know, this bike just packs a punch. It's just badass. I mean, this thing has got a sweet sound to it. I mean, look at this dual exhaust on this bad boy. That's sexy. So this tire is a little bit bald, but that's okay. That's no big deal. Chain driven KTM LC4 625. So it's had little things done to it. We got, like, you know, the bush guards here, different mirrors, phone mount, you know, the brakes, like I said. But other than that, it's a pretty stock bike. I mean, this thing is just badass. So the comparisons to the DRZ, this thing is just way faster, way more torquey. This thing gets up and goes pretty fast. It's got a much bigger engine, obviously. It's a 400cc on DRZ versus a 625. Versus a 625 on the KTM. Hey, look, a dragonfly. So yeah, look at the scenery here real quick. I just wanted to show you this. I mean, it is gorgeous farmland here. Came out here to just I think it's the same spot I took my the KTM, or not the KTM, my bike, the DRZ, not my brother's. My brother's we did in a parking lot, but I think it's beautiful here, and this bike suits it very well. So like I said, it is SuperMoto. It's got inverted forks on the back and that mono shock in the rear. Those on my bike is regular forks, but still have the mono shock. This thing is kind of vibey though. It vibrates you to death. Let's just say that. It's very torquey, very vibey, and to be honest, I would buy this bike in a heartbeat. And if I did, I would change the tires. That'd be the only thing I would change on here. Because you know me, I like going off-road, and with these road tires, that's not the best idea. So without further ado, let's start this bad boy up. So there you go, starting right there, neutral. So starting procedure on this thing. This is the very first time you start. Let's go over that real quick. You see this guy right here, this little thing? This is actually a compression release. So you push that, pull that, boop, and that actually relieves any compression or pressure, whatever you would like to say, in the cylinders, so you don't break this motorcycle. So push this in, and we're going to push start. Listen to that bad boy roar. Let's rev it up a little. Alright, so it looks like you've made it to the end, and that's awesome. For that, you get a cookie. And as promised, the comparison of all three bikes you can see in the video. So, since this video is about the KTM, let's start there. So the KTM is fast and torquey, but as much as I like it, it is, well, it's more of an on-road bike than anything. Now, next to that is my brother's bike, the DRZ turned Supermoto, that's in the middle there. Now this is more Supermoto than all the other bikes in this video, so it's more set up for doing stunts and tricks, but it's also a little more focused towards the road, but less than the KTM. So finally, my DRZ on the opposite end of the KTM. What can I say other than it's just the best all-around dual sport bike I've ever ridden on, or owned for that matter, and it's more geared to off-road with its height and 50/50 tires I have on there, but it does handle pretty good on the road as well. So after riding both the DRZ and the KTM, I feel like the DRZ is a little more nimble and a little more forgiving than the KTM. So in closing, get the KTM if you like to do wheelies and more road stuff with maybe a few jumps here and there, or get the DRZ if you like to have a little more off-road capabilities. So that's all I have for you today. So don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, post a comment down below, and as always, I'll catch you in the next video.